Welcome back, everybody. Good evening. It is Friday. We have a lot to talk about. You're going to notice a couple of things. My Bitcoin position is gone. It's gone. It's only 35,000, guys. We're fine, dude. We're fine. That being said, we immediately recovered after getting liquidated for absolutely no reason. We zoom in into the, 5-minute chart. We just decided at 2:30 a.m. to drop Bitcoin's price from where we currently are right now, 85,000, all the way down to 81,320. If you have anything in your memory, you'll remember that I liquidated at 82,000. This could have been prevented easily. But stupidly, last night, I guess I just went to sleep, and that was that, right? I went to sleep, didn't expect, Bitcoin to drop any further. I was expecting a huge bounce at 85,000 based off of so much that we analyzed yesterday. The Fibonacci level, exponential moving averages, oversold position, none of it mattered. We decided to drop, and it's me versus the markets, honestly. And it doubled down on me, honestly, because in the morning, 7:30 as well, decided to drop to 80,530, which happens to be our lowest point for Bitcoin right now. Meaning that the support would be essentially 80,000. We have not dropped below 80,000 just yet. Psychologically speaking, that is our next support level. Don't worry about me, guys. Honestly, it's fine. I'll find a way. God will make a way for me to have money again. It's fine. Bear market's there. Honestly, half of this is my fault. The signs were there. We saw it coming. I've been saying it. I just didn't follow through with what I was saying because I was just too convinced. And I still am, by the way, that things are supposed to keep going higher. Where's the bounce? Seems like this is going to be the bounce. Nope. Keeps going lower and lower. It attempted to stop me out before I added more money and entered another position. But no, we decided to just drop a little further and get me liquidated because it's me versus the markets, like I said. Which is fine. Okay, that's done. Lost 35,000. Okay? What's next? Well, I'm obviously learning from it. For whatever reason, my alt positions are still alive. This is a short position, that's why it's green. It's with bonus, so forget about it. The only one that didn't survive was Cardano, but I wasn't expecting it to survive either way. I guess we'll go ahead and talk about Cardano now that we're on here, on the subject. I hate how this flips to USDC and USDT. Like, instantly. Yeah, we got stopped out and then it doubled down on me as well. We hit our support level at 38. Oh my gosh, Cardano is at 38, guys. 38. Its current price is 41. We've recovered a little. That's painful. Cardano, dead coin. Sorry, it's gone. No more Cardano ever. Don't ever talk to me about Cardano. We'll never have a look at its chart ever again. No, I don't think this is the right attitude to have, right? Sure, it's still, fine. It's a good project. Charles Hoskinson, so good. Everybody's using Cardano. Cardano to $3, am I right? Maybe, maybe not. Whatever. That's also gotten liquidated. Don't care. Moving on. Other positions are still alive, like I said, but super in the red. Really, really close as well to getting liquidated. So my day could have been worse, but my favorite position, my Bitcoin position, got liquidated. I was talking about I could sell Bitcoin on the spot market. The little bits of Bitcoin that I had, used that amount to reinforce my position, adding margin, pushing my liquidation price lower. Wouldn't have changed my entry price. And worst case scenario, either add another entry price at however low I could push my liquidation price, which would have been about 70,000. I think that would have been the better move. Because honestly, if overnight this, volatility or forced manipulation didn't happen, I would still be alive, right? Bitcoin's price would still be 85,000 where we are right now. And my liquidation price would have still been at 82,000 if obviously this didn't happen. And it's so dumb. Today, everything just decided to turn around. Of course. I was kind of right in expecting that today would be sort of in the green. It's just that we started, the day so low because for whatever reason, overnight we were going to crash. We decided to crash. So there you go. there's that, in case you care. An update on my positions. Fine. Resistance is now the previous support where we had the 85,500 approximately. You could round that to. Next level for resistance would be 88,890, almost 89,000, right? Which we've used as a support in the past as well. Should also take us to where we have the downtrend line, this immediate one at least. Downtrend itself invalidates above 97,000. We have to break 97,000 for Bitcoin's trend in the 4-hour chart to be flipped to the upside, which we still have a long way to go, I'm not going to lie. From here, that's a 14% rise. Going to take maybe a week to do that kind of a movement, and it's going to have to be constant good green days, which honestly, even right now, we're pretty oversold on Bitcoin. We should start rising. But no, I think we're in a bear market now. The signs were there. We looked at the weekly chart. It's already flipped in the red for me in the super trend, right? That was my first indication that, yeah, this is not right, and I should be exiting. My Bitcoin position at would have been 94,000. I would have taken a $10,000 loss, I think, which would have hurt. But now it's tripled down on me. 35,000 is now gone because I just decided to ignore the signals that were there. Other signals, the moving average is in the weekly chart as well. The 50 moving, 50 moving average, simple. That one also got, you know, another sign that triggers the fact that we are now in a bear market, right? So the signs were there. There was no excuse, whatever. I guess I deserve it. So that's gone. That's fine. What's next? Well, just keep making lower highs, lower lows until we find our bottom. Every low point that we hit, it seems like, okay, this is the bottom, this is where we'll bounce. And it feels like I've been saying that for practically every stream now. I'm just going to stop saying that and just admit, or not even admit, but like, just accept, that's the right word. Accept the fact that we're going to go lower. Lower highs, lower lows, just expect that. The dead cat bounce that I really wanted to see, it never ended up happening. If we go to like a daily chart, I know we're seeing a bunch of red candles with some green, but like literally, this is not a dead cat bounce. The dead cat bounce that I was wanting to see was something that would take us to the high 90s, right? That's where I was expecting to be like, okay, if we were overbought at that position in the 4-hour chart, yeah, I would have closed out of my position because I know that we're just going to keep on going lower if we're oversold already that fast, right? Changing this to Heikin-Ashi candles looks prettier, this downtrend, right? Seems like we've just been overall constantly down ever since November 12. Slight breather over here, November 9, 10, 11. Forget that though. Since November 4 was a big crash day for a lot of altcoins. It's just felt like it's been continuously down without a successful, you know, dead cat bounce or whatever that we were wanting to expect. So there's that. Other signs that we could have determined, right? And no, I'm not really gonna make you guys, I'm not gonna tell you guys, oh, sell, everything is just gonna keep dropping from now on. Like, you do whatever you want with your money. I did whatever I wanted with mine. Didn't work out. This is just living proof. Maybe in the future I'll revisit this as an example of why I shouldn't do what I've been doing, that kind of deal. It's been happening to me constantly, right? Even on October 10, I guess I didn't learn my lesson, right? Use a stop loss, sure. Or just stay out of futures market if you're just going to be holding on to it for a long time. This is what I'm doing right here with just DCAing whenever it's oversold. It's great. And unlike a spot market, maybe. Maybe this could have worked as well with 2x leverage. And of course, on Bitcoin specifically, by the way, I flipped over to 5x leverage after using 3x leverage for such a long time and realizing Bitcoin's the one that gives me the least amount of returns when we actually start rising because it's only on 3x leverage, and Bitcoin's movement feels a bit slow compared to the rest of the altcoins that were having faster movements, which, in my opinion, 3x leverage was safe for altcoins. Even still, we're in a crypto market, the most volatile market that exists out there, and you're multiplying volatility on it. There is risk on that, of course. So, another thing to pay attention to. But in Bitcoin's case, I was like, 3x leverage just feels too slow. if I was using 5x leverage in the past, I would have not gotten liquidated because Bitcoin has never retraced to such a low level, right? Sure, this is our third 30 plus retracement in this whole bull cycle. That is true. But obviously I wasn't buying at the tops. I was buying at strategic areas. And even still, it dropped, of course, to 20% below that. Meaning that this is where I get liquidated. Even me trying to do my best to save the position, it was too fast for me. Or, I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying too much attention. This could have been avoided, like I said. But, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Can't undo. Can't control Z. Just gotta move on. And it's worse if you give up right now, right? If you do give up, then you actually lost. Like I said, this is not me being a gambler or anything, but it's part of the game, right? Maybe in the future, I'll look back at this and be like, haha, good thing I didn't give up. Right? I think that's the right mindset to have. So that being said, I'm flipping back to 3x leverage. Even still, I don't think I will touch it. Not that I have any money to do it anyway. I have to actually just wait now, or actually go and get a job, I guess. I've been trying, I promise. If you look at my emails, it's all rejection and thank you for applying response, automated response emails. Nothing, no personal emails, dude. Nobody cares anymore. They just get your resume, your application that you take half an hour to fill out because there's no way to like copy paste exactly every single thing every single time. You have to manually fill out every single field about all this random, the previous experience you have, all of that kind of stuff, all of your skills, all the languages you speak, la la la. So annoying, but hey, whatever. It's part of the game, otherwise it'd be too easy and nobody would care. So it's supposed to be hard. That's fine. So, next. I'm at a huge loss with a lot of these, but I gotta wait for these to either start coming back up. Surprisingly, they did have their big drop, the altcoins I'm talking about here, but there's still not good enough of a recovery that I'm seeing yet. Which is, I mean, it leaves... I forgot the saying. But you get it now, so just gotta really wait at the end of the day. That's fine. Okay, so that's Bitcoin's case. We're still on our way down. 84,650 right now is the current price. We did have a good bounce today because of the rate cut odds. Now they're suddenly in our favor. Now they're suddenly 70%. Huh? Can you imagine that? Yesterday was 33 to 66. Now we're at 70 to 30. 70 in our favor that we will get a rate cut this time. I'll go into more detail about that too. We will be talking a lot about the news that's been happening with Donald Trump and Zoran Mamdani. Marjorie Taylor Greene's resigning. Quick rundown I'm trying to think here. Canada, we'll be talking about. MicroStrategy, huge issue there too, which we'll be getting into more detail, and Grayscale, and just an analysis on the rest of the altcoin markets versus the Bitcoin market. Because, I mean, as we all know, Bitcoin has been crashing the hardest compared to altcoins. You would expect altcoins to tumble down even further. Yeah, they did have their downfall, but it's not as bad as Bitcoin. And of course, Bitcoin's the only one I'm doing 5x leverage on, and it happens to be the worst performing one. Whatever, man. Let it do its thing. It's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and look at Ethereum. Wow, now this thing is swapping places. Down 3%, 2,760. Okay. We hit a low of 2,619. See, even this drop wasn't that bad. I feel. I don't know. But I'm at 3x leverage here, so it's fine nonetheless. Still in a downtrend, always have been. So can't do much about Ethereum here. Support level is the 2,600 level. Our lowest point today was 2,620, and I'm liquidated at 2,422. If that has to happen, let it happen. Don't care anymore. Get out of here. Let me please click on Hyperliquid. Down 10% on Hyperliquid, finally. Yeah, this was, I don't want to say deserved, but it was expected, right? because it was holding up really strong while the rest of the markets were crashing. I say holding up, but it was just lateralizing, right? It's still in a downtrend, always has been as well, for the duration of, you know, Bitcoin crashing below 100,000 all the way down to, we're at 80,000 almost. So now Hyperliquid finally broke below 36. We're at 34 currently. Our lowest price today was 31.66, which happens to be near the support level at 32. Lower than that, you could expect 28. I'm not in a position on Hyperliquid, so I'm not exposed to any of that volatility. Is this a good chance to buy? Was maybe around the 32, according to my strategy. Although, honestly, no. No, actually, yes. I didn't realize this. Hyperliquid's pretty cool on the weekly chart. We're still in an uptrend for it. Yeah, we did have the October 10 crash, but you're supposed to ignore that. But it's at a dangerously critical zone, and the fact that Bitcoin's already broken below the uptrend and validation zone and the weekly charts. When I'm talking about super trends here. It wouldn't surprise me if Hyperliquid is next as well, breaking below 31, like I said. So until then, yeah, this would have been your last hope, your last good possible entry on Hyperliquid before the strategy that I'm doing here would just completely invalidate if we do close the week below 31. So this was your last entry, your last hope. If we do indeed get an Olympic bounce from here, break this, go back into an uptrend, and in the weekly chart, you know, you'll see us making maybe a new all-time high, 60 plus. That would have been your best possible entry. Just saying. Because if this week closes below 31, this will flip red and forget about it. We're just making lower lows from there. Technically speaking, okay? Technically. But yeah, that's what I see with Hyperliquid. Not too bad, but I'm not in here. I don't have money to go in anyway, so 0 USDT, literally. So I'm out. But that's what I would maybe do. Maybe, hard maybe, you know. I don't think I could say the same about Solana nor Ethereum. Yeah, these are both already flipped red on the weekly charts. I'm going to go back to Ethereum just to confirm. Well, we're about to actually with this weekly close. I mean, technically we could go back to 3,070 plus and close the week in the green and stay in an uptrend. That would be optimal for Ethereum, but I'm not going to keep my hopes up over here. Considering how Bitcoin is performing right now, it should drag the rest of altcoins with it. But Solana, it is too late for it. It's already in a downtrend, so expect lower highs, lower lows. If we do get a dead cat bounce, I'm hoping it's near maybe 150. Break this 150, or just even if you are close enough to it, I might have to sell at a loss. Yeah, these are where the decisions also get pretty tough. Hard decisions always in the markets, even if you're doing the right thing. When things are on the rise, you're seeing it being overbought every single day. You're like, where the heck do I take profit? Do I take it now? You take your profits, and then it just keeps on rising, and it 2x's, 3x's, even higher, and it's like, well, I should have waited instead of taking profits a bit too early. And then you zoom out, you look at how massively the thing rose, and you're like, yeah, see, well, just missed out on all that. But anyway, and then it goes the same toward the downside. Okay, I'm losing. Do I actually lose money here? Should I have put a stop loss? If I do put a stop loss, I mean, I just get stopped out 90% of the time because the market is just so volatile. That's why I dislike using stop losses. And I found it easier when, you know, the trend is in the green to, if you don't use a stop loss, of course, if you know for sure that things are supposed to continue in the green, that's why I suggest looking at the weekly chart to confirm this, then you would know it's better to not use a stop loss, because any small volatility can just take you out instantly and then actually rise even higher. And it's like, well, I wish the stop loss wasn't even there to begin with. That way I would have been able to take profits. And it's worked for me. It's worked for me in the past year and a half that I've been doing this. I went from, okay, I'm not going to specify the amounts. That's in the Discord if you care. But yeah, new link, by the way, in the description if you want to join. When we're talking about net worths over here. But yeah, I did let's just see. I did a 4x on my account, not for an exchange, for the number 4 times multiply. I multiplied my portfolio value by 4 times, okay? And that's all gone now, by the way. Fully gone at this point. With, you know, just give me a day or two, get all these liquidated, it's going to be fully gone. No hope from here. And it just goes to show, right? Always have cash on the side. And I got to figure out a way, like a good correlation, a good ratio between holding cash on side versus active positions, right? I don't know. Something to consider for the future. Oh, I didn't even talk much about Solana, but yeah, current price is 128. We dropped to a low of 121. I'm down. I'm out at 115. And I mean, that is our only last support, 120 really. Downtrend's still going to be a thing as long as we stay below 151. So that's why I said if we rise to maybe 150 before we hit that resistance, might sell at a loss just to take whatever funds I can, because it's important, right? Capital protection is important. So, you know, in that case, yeah, sure, a stop loss is absolutely necessary and useful, right? Until it just, you actually start losing so much money with a stop loss. You also got to have good risk management, of course, but when it comes to doing what I'm doing here, this kind of DCA entries at lower points, it's kind of useless to have a stop loss until eventually it just completely liquidates you. It would work better on spot markets. And my tax-free savings account is a living example of that. I'm super down on it right now because I've been buying only crypto and tech-related stocks, and of course those are the hardest hit right now. But even the fact that I'm down and I'm also kind of running out of money there, even though it's not a lot, because I'm just really just playing around with it, I'm not at risk of losing the money unless those things actually drop to zero, right? And I will sell when those are in the green and it's giving me a pattern to sell, right? On the RSI levels, if they are overbought, I know there's going to be a correction soon. I would take profit from those easily and, you know, save. Be patient. Whenever it gives you proper entries, when prices are oversold, that's when you start entering again on projects that you do genuinely believe in. And in those, I'm talking about like the Mag 7, maybe some few stocks that I genuinely like. And then it's crypto ETFs as well. In Canada, we do have Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana so far. So I've been DCAing into all of those. And yeah, because crypto in general is down, it's been going lower. The good stocks that I like, by the way, were Coinbase. There's a Canadian hedged version of it, and MicroStrategy, and I have them on my trading view. The ones I do genuinely invest in. And then Palantir, Qualcomm, Nike. I want to get out of Nike, but yeah, that's there for whatever reason. Intel, Broadcom, AMD. Pretty much it. The rest is just, you know, big tech stocks, Mag 7. You got the point. So, yeah. Cool. So, there you go. Moving on. After Solana, we have BitTensor. It's at 277.86. Down 10% today. Also a deserved crash. I don't want to say deserved. Feels bad. But, yeah. Was to be expected. We dropped to a low of 260. Our support level is 253, so we're not fully there yet, but we did reach oversold levels at that area, meaning that it would have been a good entry. Everything was oversold at 2 a.m. Were you awake at 2 a.m.? Should have been. What's your problem? Market doesn't sleep. You shouldn't sleep either. That being said, still on a downtrend and validates at 350 plus. Looks like it's aiming to be at 340 maybe, with where the pivot level is and these previous resistances are. I'm still pretty down, even though I've entered BitTensor perfectly, kind of. I don't have any more money to support this, so I'm just going to have to wait for it to do its thing. Whether or not this is our bounce point, I kind of hope it is. Or I kind of hope it isn't. I don't know. I'm mixed. There's conflicting thoughts over here. Because if everything just bounces from here, I'd be mad that I got liquidated on Bitcoin. And it just, like, markets were dropping and dropping, making me suffer, pulling my hairs out, until I got liquidated and then it bounces because I was right the whole time, that would make me upset. But what would also make me upset is if things just keep on going lower, like, yeah, liquidate me and keep going lower because that's what you're supposed to do now, right? You're dropping so much. Keep going. I want to see how far you can go. And then, I don't know, the rest of my altcoins also get liquidated. They get dragged down with it. I'd also be mad. I don't know what to do at this point. I'm out of money. Can't do anything about it. Hey, Blowing Chunks, welcome. Just jumping in. What trades you got open at this point? Still have my alts open. Only Cardano got liquidated and Bitcoin. Cardano was expected, as I explained. Sui's there, Link, Solana, Compound, Ethereum, Stellar, BitTensor. This is a bonus position that I'm shorting, and obviously, because I'm shorting, I'm obviously in the green. Easy money. Yeah, I might have to start shorting the markets again. I think I can just flip my strategy around. It should work in a bear market. I hope. I haven't really tested it, so I'm gonna have to try to do that. But yeah. Yep. That's all I have open right now. And then on my standard futures account, it's Hedera and Stellar, which have been open for maybe, has it already been a year now? I bought those at such high prices and I've reinforced them to 0. They survived the October 10 crash. They survived April 7 crash. They survived whatever crash we had recently, this current crash. So those are still alive, but I don't expect those to be in the green anytime soon. We're going to have to, like, I don't know, 10x from where we are right now. That's how bad it is. But yeah, that's what I've got. Moving on to Sui. Yeah, we're just keeping making lower lows. Lowest point we reached was 131. I'm out at 111. I also reinforced Sui. I'm shorting Sui, but it's just on a bonus position, right? They give you, sometimes they'll give you like $100 and like, here, have fun with $100. Whatever gains you can make, you can keep. Meaning that if I was to close this position, even though they gave me $100 to trade, I only keep $1. This was down to $3. It was up to $3, sorry, at some point earlier today. But yeah, I'm only shorting because I'm long on everything else. So, you know, if things go up, I'd lose the bonus position, but I'd be making something back from these. And if things just keep going down, I might as well just make whatever profit I can from this short position. It closes automatically in 24 hours either way, so that's why I'm doing it. Don't feel bad that I'm shorting Sui, and I just feel like Sui is the more volatile one out of all of these. I mean, look at it. We're down 8% today. What else is down? Okay, Aptos is down 14. What is going on? But yeah, you get the point. I just wanted to see which one I could make most profit off of. Decided to just quickly throw it on Sui, so that's why it's there. It's not a real short position. Kind of is, but, you know, I'll be making $3 from it. Who cares? So yeah, there's Sui. 138. It's a good buy right now, though, that's for sure. Great prices. I don't know, man. If you ask me where the bottom is at this point, I have no idea. Should have shorted Whiff. Oh yeah, dude. Every meme coin is gone right now, isn't it? 15% down. Ooh. October 10, we also dropped to 13 cents from being 60, 70. Crazy. $1 plus. This is in July. Yup. Are these new lows? Oh, we've seen the same low in April 7, so we're approaching that level. Crazy. Yeah, no, everything is gone right now. Even though fundamentals are stronger than ever. Love it. Love this market. Chainlink's broken through its support as well at 12. We're at currently $12.12. The lowest point we hit was 11.60. I liquidate at 11.21, and we have a support there at 11.23. That's gonna go. I'm just gonna accept Chainlink as well. Gone. Buy Chainlink soon. But downtrend is still there. I love this downtrend line. Just, you know, mixing, intertwining, you know, with the super trend level. Invalidates at 14.60 something. Word Liberty Finance is up. I have not looked at that. Oh, 12%. Why? Can't wait for this AI to tell me. Oh, now it's silent, huh? Crazy bounce. Wow. And it's kept its uptrend. That's interesting. This would have been a perfect buy. If you managed to get this RSI at 3 a.m., if you were awake at 3 a.m., man, you would be up so much right now. 14 cents right now. Bouncing up from 11, lowest point. Crazy. I'm out of World Liberty Finance as well. I think I took profits from this rise. I was buying all these dips and then took profit over here. Haven't touched it ever since. I mean, it's in the USDC charts, so. Yeah, here it is. I sold over here. God, I'm such a good trader. It's just the markets don't make sense. I'm not the problem. Markets are the problem. Aptos, yeah, this was expected. Flipping the super trend down, and it's already lowering its resistance to $3. Current price of Aptos, man, it's down 14% today. 238. We hit a low of, this is a recent low, 232. Oh, and Aster's holding up fair after the crash. I'll look at Aster in a sec. This seems like there's something else going on with Aptos, so I want to check this. What is actually going on? How low are we? 44. No good. Who was stabbed? What? Who enabled institutional? Whatever. We're down because, yeah, that's not a good reason. That's not a good reason. And ecosystem development. They announced partnerships. India Blockchain Week sponsorship. Binance staking integration. Yeah, Fed uncertainty. Come on, there's got to be a better reason. No, no good reason. But it's there. Have a look at Aster. Yep, still keeping its uptrend. It's one of the few that has still their uptrend, so that's good for it. World Liberty Finance, Aster. Performing decent. I like it. How was Hyperliquid again? Okay. Yep. I'd even go to say it's outperforming Hyperliquid. Correlating those two charts, right? The battle of the dexes. Maybe they're back. Aptos is indeed a good buy if you do fully trust in the project. Me, I'm just completely out, but yeah, long term, I do kind of trust in it. I don't like its inflationary status, though. But I mean, for a bounce, just immediate, like, bounce trade, we're at a good price right now. This is 26 RSI. You could expect a bounce. Not financial advice, but 234, that is a support level as well. We hit a bottom around over here recently, too. But these would be new lows, I think, right? Ignoring October 10. Yeah, these would be new lows. Yep. I mean, it's up to you. Looks good, though. Negative funding rate, too. Meaning that more people are shorting than longing right now. What this means, it also explains it over here. The shorts are paying longs. So if you open a long position right now, this is actually genuinely a good opportunity. Once again, not financial advice. This is wrong. You're going to lose all your money, okay? But no, honestly, this looks really good. Shorts pay long. I mean, if you're doing futures, though. Right? That means any commission that you would be getting paid over here on the funding rates. Your position PNL should turn in the green. Yeah. Okay. But that is all I have. I mean, what are these other ones doing? What is Compound doing? I've not looked at it. It's nearing liquidation at 24. Current price is 28, almost 29. That's fine. It hasn't dropped too bad. Stellar is... Oh, okay. There it is. 20 is where I liquidate. We're at 23. Very, very scary. We hit a low of 21 also. Yeah, this is gone. I haven't put too much in it, so I'm not too concerned about it either way. But rest of this, whatever. I lost 35 grand on Bitcoin. What else can these altcoins do to me? Hit me with the best you got. Don't actually. I don't want to suffer anymore. But we'll leave it there. Okay. Like I said, we have a lot of news to talk about, so let's go ahead and get into it. I spent 34 minutes talking about, or ranting about these darn markets. They don't make any sense. I'm shaking my fist in the air. Zoran Mamdani, the mayor-elect of New York City, has visited Donald Trump today. I think I teased that this would happen, so here it is. Overall, it seems to have been a closed-door meeting at first, and then, you know, public speaking toward the reporters. And they said they had a good meeting. They were pretty, you know, happy with each other, smiling, laughing, making jokes. Nothing too hostile, nothing too damaging to each other. You know, so it was all good. Trump says he wants to congratulate. I want to congratulate. I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. They're basically saying they agree on not everything, but like, you know, overall, Trump thinks he's a good fit for New York. We're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. Zoran Mamdani also wants cheaper housing, food, and oil prices in New York City. Once again, the big thing with affordability, that the Democrats won on that. Trump is also now focusing on affordability too. So now it seems like Democrat, Republican, they will be working together to focus on affordability, especially in New York. So there you go. Because Trump, if you don't know, of course, he also big person from New York with the real estate and the buildings and all that stuff. So yeah. Walmart said Thanksgiving this year is going to be 25% cheaper than last year. So that's good for New York and for everybody. We both want New York City to win. I'm just going to read the headlines because this is too much to read. Zoran Mamdani arrives in D.C. to meet Trump. Yeah, we know. Mamdani wants free buses, but don't ask how he'll pay for them. That was also another thing that he was proposing. And even one of the reporters asked him, hey, you came here on a plane. I thought you were pro, bus rides and green, like, environment or whatever. He's like, yeah, well, that's fine, but I'm just doing this for New York, okay? That kind of deal. The news reporters asked him some pretty heavy-hitting questions, but he handled it okay, I guess. Ultimately, even Trump came to his defense on some of it to bail him out in that sense. But yeah, there you go. Seems like they're off to a decent start. Trump also commented on Governor Walz. Is this Tim Walz? No, this is a different guy. Right? Governor Walz? Who is this? Mike Waltz? Oh, it is Tim Walz. He spelt it wrong. What are you doing, Trump? Also, I was thinking, because of the T and the Z, I thought it was Tim Walz because he was from Minnesota. This was, if you don't remember this guy, the person who was running as vice president with Kamala Harris last year during the presidential elections. Tampon Tim. Come on, how do you guys not remember him? Trump is still attacking him even after the elections, saying that Minnesota state under Governor Walz is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. I am, as President of the United States, hereby terminating effectively the Temporary Protected Status, the TPS program, for Somalis in Minnesota. Wow. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of the great state, and billions of dollars are missing out. Send them back to where they came from. It's over, President DJT. Somalis in Minnesota was also this issue, I think, with, what was her name? Please let me remember. The lady. That lady who, yeah, she said some racial slurs to the Somali guy because, I don't know, some kid was harassing her kid. Come on, what was your name? I forgot her name, man. Whatever. But yeah, the Somalis in Minnesota, huge problem apparently. And Trump is now terminating the TPS, the Temporary Protected Status for it. Cool. Oh, misspelling his name was to rub salt on the wound. That's pretty funny. Yeah, fair enough. Because I was thinking, right? Like, Waltz, the T, the Z, come on. I don't know, maybe Trump is just this old and he's just forgetting how to type people's names. It wouldn't be the first time. What else did he misspell one time? He misspelled some celebrity's name as well once. I don't remember names. Why am I so bad at remembering names now? I'm usually pretty good with names, but whatever. Okay, so there's that. There was also talks on a little update with Russia, Ukraine. Zelensky meets with or spoke with JD Vance, right? Zelensky says that he thanks Trump's efforts to reach a peace deal. We spoke for almost an hour with U.S. Vice President JD Vance and the Secretary of the Army Dan Driscoll. We managed to cover a lot of details of the American side's proposals for ending the war, and we're working to make the path toward dignified and truly effective for achieving a lasting peace. I'm grateful for the attention and the willingness to work together with us and our partners. We agreed to work together with the US and Europe at the level of national security advisors to make the path to peace truly doable. Ukraine has always respected and continues to respect US President Trump's desire to put an end to the bloodshed, and we view every realistic proposal positively. We agreed to maintain constant contact. Teams are ready to work 24/7. Thank you. And Putin says that the 28-point Trump plan is now on the table for ending the war. Seems like Trump already laid out another plan, similar to what he did with, the ceasefire in Gaza, Israel. He made a 20-point plan of rules that they both would have to follow, Hamas and Israel, right, to end the war, to propose a ceasefire, which I don't know. I didn't get too many updates on it, but I think it's working according to plan. Last I heard is that they are still bombing each other, but they kind of stopped. And I mean, the hostages are back. So, I mean, technically, yeah, the war is over. There should be no reason to continue attacking. And I don't know. I don't hear anything about the building. Where's the buildings? Where's the beautiful beaches? Where's the hotels? Where's the infrastructure, the roads, the rebuilding of the whole Gaza Strip? That's something that we're still waiting on. Or maybe there's another phase to the deal that I'm just missing out on. I don't remember exactly. That being said, there's another plan in place, I think. I have not heard of the 28-point plan yet. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So, Putin says it's no secret that President Trump's peace plan to resolve the situation in Ukraine was discussed before our Alaska meeting. During that prior discussion, the American side asked us to make certain concessions to show what they called flexibility. The main goal of our meeting in Alaska was to confirm during the talks in Anchorage that despite certain issues and complications on our part, we agree to those suggestions and are ready to show the flexibility we were asked for. We informed all our partners and friends in the Global South in detail, including China, India, South Africa, Brazil, the CSTO countries, of course. This looks like BRICS, of course. And, okay, all our friends and partners supported and upheld these agreements. As we see after our talks in Alaska, a certain pause was taken. We know this was due to Ukraine's actual refusal of President Trump's peace settlement plan. I believe this was the reason for its new iteration, the 28-point plan. We have this plan. We received it through our channels of cooperation, and I believe it may serve as a foundation for a final peace settlement. So it still appears to be in the early works, but good. End this war, please. It'll be another thing off of our table of issues. I don't know. Is there more on this? Come on. I didn't mean to put the plus. 28-point plan. Oh, we actually do have the... oh my gosh. Do we read all this? Okay, well, let's hear. Number 1, Ukraine's sovereignty will be confirmed. So Ukraine will not be a part of Russia. They will not be annexed. Number 2. Oh, dude, do I really want to read all this? This is like spontaneous, by the way. I didn't expect this to actually be a thing. Or should I save it for tomorrow, another day? I might save this for tomorrow. But it's here just in case you want to scroll through it. I already scrolled through the first half, so it's this. Pause the video if you really care, if you want to find it out right now. But I do have to go through like a lot of other stuff worth of news. So I'm going to skip it for now, but we may touch a little bit more on detail on this tomorrow. Gosh, my English is so perfect. Yeah, so I'm going to move on from it. But it's there. Cool. Good. Marjorie Taylor Greene announced that she is stepping down from Congress on January 5, 2026. Here's my honest reaction to that information. That's not cool. I don't want to see this happen. Why? She's actually such a good congresswoman. She gives us the good insider trades. She's pro-Trump, even though Trump hates her. She seems to be on the right path in terms of politics. I don't know, kind of agreed with her on almost everything, but whatever. She's leaving. She's resigned from Congress. She said that there is no plan to save the world, and there is no insane 4D chess being played by Donald Trump. She's breaking the illusion as well. She's taking everything down with it as her final, I guess, middle finger to Trump as she leaves. But hey, at least she's not joining the Democrats, because I feel like she is pretty smart. And those kinds of brains on the Democrat Party, I don't know how to feel about that. Let's keep the Democrat Party with, you know, people like AOC or Jasmine Crockett. Am I right? I don't know anything about US politics. Let's move on. Canadian politics. And Kamala Harris is here too. There you go. Chrystia Freeland, who was... Okay, I'll give you more details on her in a sec, but she met with Kamala Harris in Toronto here. Wonderful to see Kamala Harris in Toronto. Always inspiring to catch up with a friend whose leadership, and personal journey, continues to motivate so many of us. Great. Okay. Chrystia Freeland, if you don't remember, she was the Deputy Prime Minister, which is like saying a Vice President, to Justin Trudeau when he was in power. And it was a disaster, as we all know. She actually resigned from Trudeau's cabinet last year. It was practically almost 1 year ago. She resigned from Trudeau's cabinet, and then Trudeau also resigned, but then she got reappointed as some other ministry, like leader of something. She basically downgraded herself. Then Trudeau resigned because Trump was bullying him. And then we called for elections in, I think, March, April. And Mark Carney got elected. Same party, Liberal. Mark Carney, by the way, Justin Trudeau's financial advisor or whatever. And we already see how bad the economy is here. And it's just going to keep getting worse. I don't know. So that's the little update. And by the way, she got... it was either Mark Carney, who was going to be the leader of the Liberal Party, or it was going to be this woman, Chrystia Freeland. And I honestly think she would have been worse. But yeah, sure. Mark Carney got elected. There you go. They're both bad. But yeah. And now, she has resigned. Did I cover that? Yeah, well, I've covered the fact that she has resigned after being labeled Ministry of Transportation. So that's the most useless title in the government, in my opinion. Like, what are you going to transport? You went from Deputy Prime Minister to that. Yeah, you might as well resign. Fair enough. So she did resign, and I'm pretty sure I covered that. And now she will be leaving Canada. She's going to take a job at a prestigious institution. What is a prestigious institution? I think it was in the UK. Yeah, she's going to UK. She's going to England, and she's getting a different job with something else. Odd. I don't know. Why are we so... I thought we got independentized from the UK, right? No, but we are a monarchy, so we still go by prime ministers, and we have the Governor General, who is the King's representative. We have to care a lot when the royal family visits Canada, that kind of deal, right? This is going to ruin my future political career. I'm going to stop commenting on it, but yeah, there you go. If I ever was to have a political career. What do you reckon? What if I just ran as a politician? How hard is that? Can I just become a politician? They get paid thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in an annual salary for doing nothing good for the country. I have some good ideas, but I don't know. I might get labeled as, you know what? I don't even want to guess, but whatever. We'll see. Yeah, we have close ties with England, basically. Mark Carney was also Bank of England helping Brexit, sort of helping Brexit. He, in my opinion, did not a good job, but to help recover from a financial crisis in England. And that's why he was like, guys, this country's in a financial crisis. Not because Justin Trudeau was in power, and not because I advised him what to do economically speaking for the country. It's because of Donald Trump. Donald Trump bad, so vote for me. And everybody voted for Mark Carney. So there you go. Mark Carney's on here, and he has not resolved a single thing. We just passed the budget bill that's going to put the country more in debt, and it's just awesome. So there you go. There's a little Canada update. JD Vance agrees with me. He says Canadian leadership is to blame for Canada's problems. Yeah, rare JD Vance W. He says, well, I'm sure the causes are complicated. No nation has leaned more into diversity as our strength. We don't need a melting pot. We have a salad bowl, immigration insanity than Canada, which is true. After COVID, we immigrated way too much under Justin Trudeau. It has the highest foreign-born share of the population in the entire G7, and its living standards have stagnated. That is also true. I saw a report where it was like, in this past year, it was a high amount. It was like 57% of kids born here are from foreign parents that are either not even citizens or something like that. Which means, yeah, we're getting replaced, okay? It's no big deal. And with all due respect, says JD Vance to my Canadian friends, whose politics focus obsessively on the United States, I know, right? Your stagnating living standards have nothing to do with Donald Trump or whatever boogeyman the CBC tells you to blame. Wow, calling out the CBC by name, the news station. The fault lies with your leadership elected by you. Huge. Once again, rare JD Vance W. It is quite literally this meme right over here. Canadians, you stick this thing in the party in the Liberal Party, and it's like, oh, damn you, Donald Trump. Yeah. Everybody agrees. Come on, I can't be the only one, right? Maybe I'm biased. Maybe this is a Twitter bias, but yeah, what? Come on, Jerome. U.S. Labor Department. Back to the United States politics, just quick segue. They've announced that October's CPI inflation report has been cancelled. That's it. We're not getting October's CPI data. No inflation. And on top of that, the U.S. Labor Department says that November's CPI data will be released or delayed on December 18, which, if you're keeping your calendar in mind, December 10 is when the FOMC meeting is, meaning that we will not have November's inflation data nor October's inflation data for this upcoming meeting, meaning that we will be going into the meeting blind once again. It's not looking good, but that was the whole issue with this yesterday, the uncertainty. What data are we going to get? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be enough? What will Jerome Powell think of this? Rate cut odds for December just slipped to 31%. This was from yesterday, okay? November 20. Today's 21. Reason for the drop, U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics announced there won't be any October jobs report. That's another issue. And the November jobs report will also be coming after the FOMC meeting. So we have jobs report for October not coming out. We're having inflation for October not coming out. And job report for November and inflation for November being delayed after the FOMC meeting. Also not good. So means that Powell will be flying in blind into the FOMC meeting once again. The market is assuming he will play it safe and he won't cut rates. I think the safe thing to do would be to cut rates. Maybe, actually, I don't know. Bitcoin didn't like any of that. We dropped to 86,000, guys. How crazy is that? No, we actually dropped lower. We dropped to 80,000 after that. But then suddenly we have our rate cut odds spiking from 27% now up to 70% in just 24 hours after dovish Fed comments. That fast. As if nothing happened, and that is the reason of the rise today. This morning, we kind of put it into reason. We're like, yeah, you know what? Seems like the Fed is projected to cut rates again in December after the unemployment numbers were past expectations. But we got unemployment numbers a day ago. Why are we reacting to it now? What is going on? Is it because we're just confirming at this point the fact that we're not getting this economic data? Now we're just using the data that we got from September recently to kind of base our predictions for the next meeting? I guess that's what it is, because there's no other logical explanation for it. We didn't get any economic data today. We didn't get any, or did we? No, we didn't. Yeah, because I looked at this. PMI, I don't think that's that important. Yeah, so there's that's the markets for you. That fast, we change our sentiment. And even still, now that the fact that, okay, what is the actual percentage? Flashbang warning. 71%, yeah, it's still there. Yesterday, guys, it was 40 to 60%. Even worse than that, it was like 33 to 66 last I checked. And now we're at 71% chance, yes, we will have our rate cut in December again, as if nothing happened. And this is what makes me mad, is the fact that, okay, you're crashing the price of Bitcoin, you're searching, you keep digging until I eventually get liquidated. I run out of money, I can't dig myself a deeper hole to escape, because I've hit rock bottom. Fine, you catch me, you liquidate me, and then you bounce back up. Bottom is in, calling it right here. No, not actually. I do hope, I don't know. I don't know whether or not to hope to drop further. But we'll leave it there. We'll let market do its thing. I'm done. I'm out. Bear market confirmed at least. Okay. Another big issue that's been happening today is MicroStrategy. We know they buy a lot of Bitcoin and everything. Their average price is 74,000, I think. And that had some people concerned, first of all, the fact that we're about to become negative on Michael Saylor's balance sheet, right? Is that the right word to use? His portfolio. And MicroStrategy stock itself just has been on its way down and down. As I have previously covered. I'll go to the official one. Yeah, we just keep making lower lows, right? Levels we have not seen since over a year ago, October 2024. We're basically erased all the election gains, right? I was telling you guys, yeah, short term MicroStrategy would be great, but long term you do want to stick with Bitcoin, and it seems like that is playing out right now. Even though Bitcoin is not even doing that well, but MicroStrategy is doing much worse. There is another issue that is going on with MicroStrategy. On January 15, important date, $9 billion purge. So what we have right now, MicroStrategy owns about 650,000 Bitcoin, worth $56 billion, which is 77% of what the whole company has. On January 15, 2026, the MSCI will kick them out of every major stock index. Not maybe, not probably, it's already decided. If I'm not mistaken, this means they're getting kicked out of the S&P 5. No, they're not even in the S&P 500, are they? I don't know specifically what they mean by this, but we'll read into it further. $9 billion of forced selling hits the market within 72 hours. Pension funds, index trackers, ETFs, they don't get to choose. The algorithm forces them to sell every single share. The company's premium is already gone. It used to trade 2 to 3x above its Bitcoin value, and now it's at 1.11x, the lowest since 2020. Meaning that it's lost its, big volatility for whatever reason. We have more Bitcoins, but we lose volatility. Big brain, I know, right? Makes so much sense. Wall Street just drew a line. Bitcoin treasury companies are not stocks anymore. They're just funds. And funds don't belong in the S&P 500 or Russell indexes. I thought it was announced that they were going to be put there. No, I think they delayed it. MicroStrategy is not on the S&P 500. Is MSTR in the SP 500? It's part of the NASDAQ. Yeah, we know that. Russell 2000 and Russell 3000. So it's not part of S&P 500 there. Because I remember they got rejected and markets didn't like that either. And MicroStrategy crashed on that news. I remember covering that. But we're in NASDAQ and we're in Russell 2000 and 3000. But the MSCI will be taking MicroStrategy out of all of this. Which is not good. Loses investor confidence when you get delisted from indices, right? Or you're not getting delisted, you just get replaced. It's still going to exist, MicroStrategy stock, it just won't be part of any index. So they just decided to make this rule overnight. Cool. Bitcoin treasury companies are not real stocks, they're just funds. This matters because Michael Saylor built a machine that let regular investors buy Bitcoin through their brokerage accounts. It worked for 5 years. That machine breaks permanently in 23 years. Okay, weird analogy. The reflexivity loop that powered everything, raise money from stocks, buy Bitcoin, stock price goes up, raise more money, buy more Bitcoin. Well, it seems like that cycle is coming to its end. Wouldn't you agree with how can you even keep up that business model as the price just keeps going down for both assets, for Bitcoin and for MicroStrategy? Seems like it worked out great in a bull market. But what about the bear market, the upcoming bear market, if this even is one? Even that is uncertain at this point. It's weird. When you trade at net asset value, you can't raise premium capital anymore, which is true. The difference, like I said, the 2 to 3x above the Bitcoin value, now it's at 1.11x. Not a big difference, not much you can do with it. It also would explain why MicroStrategy's purchases have been decreasing and decreasing. Only last week there was a sizable amount that he bought. But even then, left too much to be desired, right? JP Morgan's November 20 research note confirmed it. The math doesn't work anymore. The company that proved corporations could hold Bitcoin also proved the market will never let them disguise it as equity. What comes after is that MicroStrategy becomes a closed-end Bitcoin fund trading at a 10 to 20% discount forever, just like Grayscale before spot ETFs existed. Liquidity collapses 60%, the volume disappears. BlackRock would win. Every dollar that would have gone into MicroStrategy flows into the Bitcoin ETFs instead. Right? The corporate Bitcoin era does not end with regulation or hacks or crashes. It ends with index methodology. The most boring document in finance just rewrote the entire playbook. The funeral, is what they're calling it, is January 15, 2026. Crazy. MicroStrategy, oh my gosh, what is his name? Michael Saylor responded to the MicroStrategy incident, the MSCI index matter. He says that, well, MicroStrategy... Okay, the name and the company name just confuses me. Fine, we'll call it Strategy. Strategy is not a fund, not a trust. It's not a holding company. We're a publicly traded operating company with a $500 million software business and a unique treasury strategy that uses Bitcoin as productive capital. Because ultimately that is what it is. It is a software business. It's been a thing since the year 2000s when the dot-com bubble happened. This year alone, we've completed 5 public offerings of digital credit securities. Strike, Strife, Stride, Stretch, and... oh my gosh, I'm trying to guess what each one of these are. This is Stretch. What is STRE? Brother, tell me what it is. Stride. That's what it is. Oh, and Stream is another one. STRE is Stream? Oh, that's what this is. Okay. I'm guessing we're missing Stride. STRD. No, it's there. No, I did say Stride. Okay, forget it. It represents over $7.7 billion in notional value. We also launched Stretch, a revolutionary Bitcoin-backed treasury credit instrument that provides a variable monthly USD yield to institutional and retail investors. So funds and trusts passively hold assets. Holding companies sit on investments. But MicroStrategy creates structure, issue, and operate. Our team is building a new kind of enterprise, a Bitcoin-backed structured finance company with the ability to innovate in both capital markets and software. There's no passive vehicle or holding company that could do what we are doing. Index classification doesn't define us. Our strategy is long-term, our conviction in Bitcoin is unwavering, and our mission remains unchanged, to build the world's first digital monetary institution on a foundation of sound money and financial innovation. Good response. We'll see what happens. Still doesn't change the fact that January 15, they're gone. They're done. We'll see. They also said, hey, in the depths of the 2022 crypto winter, our average cost basis was $30,000, while Bitcoin traded nearly 50% below at $16,000. And what were we doing? We just kept on buying more. They're just telling you this to reassure you that, yeah, our average price is $70,000 on Bitcoin. Even if it goes below 70,000 during this bear market, if this is one, we will keep on buying. It's not like they will have to force liquidate and close out their assets. Their cost average is 78,000 because he literally bought at any price. Let's see. Man, the FUD on this guy. So another thing to note is that, yeah, they hold 650,000 Bitcoin, average cost of, okay, 74,000. A drop below that does not trigger a forced liquidation. The situations that could require Bitcoin sales for MicroStrategy are the following: the inability to refinance upcoming debt, the equity market weakness limiting capital raises, credit downgrades or covenant pressure, liquidity shortfalls affecting interest or operating costs. The price alone does not force strategy to sell. Only a funding or liquidity constraint would. Just, you know, to reinforce this. Major debt repayments are scheduled for 2028 and later. So whenever they do have to eventually pay off their debt, It's going to be in 2028. And Bitcoin will be $1 million by 2028. You heard it here first. No, that is a lie. We're going to be much lower. We're going to crash, okay? There it is. So today, S&P 500 surged. No headlines, no new information. 100 points in 50 minutes. That's $800 billion in market cap added. Why? Because the herd is now moving in the opposite direction. The AI is a bubble crowd briefly just switched back to maybe AI is the next big thing. This switch will happen back and forth many times. These are all mechanical sentiment-based swings. Use fear-based emotional selling to your advantage. Not financial advice, because I've been trying to do that and I got Omega liquidated. Moving on. The dump was completely unexpected is what crypto Twitter has been saying. Studied technical analysis my whole life. There's zero signs. If anyone saw this coming, you're a genius because it was pure market manipulation, impossible to predict. I kind of disagree because there were signs. We've covered them. I've shown you them. I'm just stubborn, and due to my stubbornness, I got liquidated for it because I was still looking at the positive side of things, the good fundamentals. Everything is... Even now, I'm still convinced that things could just continue going higher. I just feel it. Okay, that's a bad reason, but like honestly, all the fundamentals that have been going on, I don't see the bad news. Why are we actually crashing? Even I asked Grok publicly, no response. Even AI cannot give me the proper answer. Oh, we're scared if Fed Powell will not cut rates. Give me a break, dude. We don't deserve to be at April 7 lows because of that kind of fear, right? October 10 and there's a glitch in the computer systems. Sure, fine, but when does it end, right? It bounces, in my opinion, supposed to happen soon, even if it was a dead cat bounce. But no, we just kept on dropping lower and lower. No signs of stopping. The Bitcoin weekly super trend turned bearish, as I showed you guys, confirmed also by the 50-week moving average close below that, which we also covered, and shout out to Blow and Chunks for pointing it out too. This combo preceded a 77 to 84% drawdown in prior cycles as sentiment hits extreme fear. I mean, we're at extreme fear right now, right? I think I have another post talking about it, but yeah. So it's like, are we going to drop another 77, 84%? I really don't think we will. Due to the previous analysis that I've done, I don't think we're going to drop below 70,000. That's a rough estimate. I don't remember the exact amount. I could pull up the exact amount if you really care. If we are following history. And I've covered this multiple times in the past, so if you remember this, you're a legend. 66,783 is the bottom for this bear market. Confirmed, and you heard it here first, okay? Reason for that, Bitcoin's price has never gone lower in a bear market, has never gone lower than when it started during the presidential elections. I went to November 4 for every month. Where is the price? Okay, here it is. Since the beginning of time, well, since November 2016. Election happens in 2016, Trump gets elected. We never dropped below 685 after that. After Trump got elected, we dropped to a low of 2,000. We didn't drop below 600. Next year, or next cycle, whatever, 2020, Biden gets elected. November. Bitcoin's price, 13,000. We did our, bull run. Bear market happens. We dropped to 15, 16,000. We did not drop below 13,000 when it started over here. Same thing is happening right now. Trump gets reelected here, November 2024. We do our rise. We have our bear market. If this is the bull market, how boring, am I right? Hey, we're being a part of history right now. Maybe this is a bear market. It does kind of look like it. But how low should we go? Probably not below 66,000, right? And then next year will be legendary. Not next year, next cycle. Gosh. But yeah, you get the point. That's kind of what I've been looking at. It's kind of worked. We'll see though. Something changed in the crypto market after October 10. Data supports it. I don't know if I want to read all this. I'll try to point out the more important stuff because we are kind of running out of time. Oh my gosh, I have so much more to cover still. Yeah, it's kind of giving a summary as to what really happened. Every attempt at a recovery gets taken out by another wave of long liquidations, which, yeah, that sucks. Nothing like no trigger thin order books, none of that has been confirmed officially. Strange part is that nothing in the macro environment on October 10th justified a liquidation event of that magnitude, which we do know about. There was no ETF rejection nor approvals because government was shut down, no regulatory shock, no economic data, no on-chain failures. Like I said, government was shut down, so none of that happened. Yet we created a structural shift in market behavior that's continued for 45 days, which I'll agree. Things have not been the same since October 10. Whatever happened on that day, billions liquidated. Huge issue. We do deserve transparency as to what was happening. Clarity Act directly targets loopholes that allow this kind of unexplained move. It will ban wash trading, which is a big issue too, gives the CFTC for commodities real-time monitoring to flag abuse, good. It criminalizes spoofing and front-running, which should be good as well. Requires the proof of reserves and monthly audits for all US-facing exchanges, good. We do want that from the Clarity Act, which should happen by the end of this year, by the way. Yeah, if they were active today, we would know who would have been behind the October 10 liquidation. That's just bottom line what it's saying. Okay, great. We're down over 26,000 over the last 10 days on Bitcoin's price. 24% drop. No, I think it's about a 35% drop by now. But Bitcoin dominance also fell by 4%, which means that every other altcoin versus Bitcoin pair, we talked about this, right? Yeah, no, we absolutely did talk about this. Basically, we're expecting a bounce soon. Maybe at least for the altcoins, right? Bitcoin already had its rise. When are we getting an alt season? That kind of hasn't really happened. We did not have a Bitcoin euphoria phase either. All big issues. But there's a reason, apparently, why alts are doing this. After the structured selling, we saw another layer, which was panic selling. Traders who are already down on their buys started to sell in panic. I should have been part of that. I would have saved some couple thousands of dollars rather than getting liquidated. No, honestly, I should have just sold my Bitcoin on spot, reinforced my position, would have been perfectly fine. But honestly, who knows where the floor is going to be. We're just in this perpetual downtrend that doesn't end. Normally, during a Bitcoin crash, the dominance spike for Bitcoin dominance as traders run into Bitcoin for safety. But that is not really the case, meaning that alts are not being abandoned, which is rare. ETH versus BTC pairs, alt BTC pairs, they're still showing bullish momentum in that sense. When you see Bitcoin dumping and Bitcoin dominance falling and alt Bitcoin pairs rising, it usually means that the alt market has already capitulated. This pattern has appeared near many past bottoms. Altcoins are not showing the same weakness as Bitcoin. It only happens when selling pressure is concentrated in Bitcoin specifically, which explains the October 10 stuff. Alts are already oversold from October 10, and market is closer to a bottom, hopefully. When Bitcoin is dumping and alts refuse to break, it usually means the market is late in the correction, not early. Bitcoin may still take some time to stabilize, but altcoins are showing strength due to stress is one of the most important signals for recovery. I will agree with that, and I'm a living example of that. The fact that my altcoins did not get liquidated, except for Cardano, screw Cardano, and only Bitcoin did, maybe due to my human error, but it's impressive. I would have expected altcoins to just be gone, but it depends on how strong Bitcoin can hold for the time being. If we do lose 80,000 and start seeing, break below 74,000 on here, no altcoin is going to survive. I'm sorry to break it to you. Bitcoin realized losses have jumped to levels last seen during the FTX collapse, driven primarily by short-term holders. Crazy. So that's a lot of people with money in the red. And the Fear and Greed Index also hit 9, which this is worse sentiment than FTX collapse, Luna collapse. If you don't know what those are, too bad. You should look that up. I'm not going to explain it right now, but if you can, I want to. If you want me to, I can in a different video because I'm running out of time. Crazy part, this is not 2022 anymore. Today we have governments openly acknowledging crypto. We have clearer regulations. We have Wall Street products. We have spot ETFs with real daily flows, whether that's inflow or outflow, it's up to you. But, you know, institutional rails actually built out. People are more scared now than during the biggest blowups ever, even though the entire system is 10 times stronger. When fear breaks from here, the bid returns instantly because now the capital pipes already exist. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I'll agree. Too oversold. Fundamentals too strong. Doesn't make sense. BlackRock's been moving their Bitcoins, their funds, to Coinbase Prime. They transferred so far about 4,000 Bitcoins, which is about $300 million, and 43,000 Ethereums, which is about $116 million. Why are they transferring it to Coinbase? Maybe to sell. Have we looked at ETF flows recently? Where are you? Farside Co. UK. They're based for still not putting XRP in here, by the way. Yeah, BlackRock sold exactly that amount. 355,000. 347. Sorry, not thousand. Million. Get out of here. Yeah, 350, 340 million. About the same. And for Ethereum, BlackRock sold 122 million. This is 116 million. Yeah, it's about the same, right? You got the point. They start moving their money to Coinbase Prime to sell it on the spot markets is what it seems like. They don't even do this stuff OTC. How rude. Grayscale director of research says that the bottom is close, hopefully. Zach Pandel of Grayscale says that crypto has been weighed on by a shift in macroeconomic expectations, fueled by the uncertainty of health of the labor market, the health of the credit market, the rate cuts, and the 4-year cycle. If you want a reason, that's your reasons as to why we're crashing. Pretty stupid, right? Grayscale Dogecoin ETF and XRP ETFs will begin trading on Monday, by the way. Great. I was going to look up the tickers, but they're not even out yet. So there you go. That's good. More ETFs coming out. I literally just talked about this. Spot Dogecoin, Spot XRP ETFs will be coming out. The tickers are GDOG, that's a cool one, and GXRP. Nice. And your last glimmer of hope, if you care at all, remember Eric Trump said Q4 is going to be, quote, unbelievable for crypto. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable, the fact that we're crashing so hard. But he still thinks that Bitcoin will surpass 175,000 this year. Son of the president, by the way. What does he know? Highest IQ man in the world still thinks 150k plus Bitcoin by end of year. Tom Lee still thinks 200k plus Bitcoin by end of year. MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, still thinks 150k plus Bitcoin by end of year. Are we too scared, or what is going on? Are we supposed to buy? Or is this indeed the bear market? Is this all top signal? All these people talking about, oh, Bitcoin's going to go much higher. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to believe this. Our yearly return is putrid, by the way. I've shown you guys I'm just going to show this before we actually end it off. Let me go to Bitcoin USD on Coinbase. Let me go to a 12-month chart. Yearly chart for Bitcoin. It's a red candle. It's not supposed to be red. It's supposed to be green, meaning that Bitcoin's supposed to be above at least 93,000. I don't know. Yeah, we can recover to 93,000 plus. It's only $9,000, $8,000 away from here. By the end of the year, come on, surely we do that, and we'll end the year green. But if we want to expect, I don't know, Bitcoin to hit 170, 200, it's pretty far from where we are right now. 136%, or 100%, or 75%. You do the math. I don't know. And if we do, great. But a lot of stuff is not pointing in the right direction anymore. I'm out for now. I'm not fully gone though. Okay, I'm still going to stream every night. Still going to keep doing my thing. Never going to give up, right? I'll find a way, get more money, reinvest, redo what I've been doing. I know how to get up there. I don't think I was lucky when I managed to 4x my whole portfolio. It took a year and a half, however long it has been now. It's almost 2 years. And, you know, I feel like I could get there. So, patience, my children. No, I should not say that, children. Yeah, whatever. That's my final thoughts on the whole thing. So, hey, if you do still believe that we can continue rising, if you still believe these analysts, the big dudes who are into all this stuff, you believe in the fundamentals, which in my opinion are still super strong, yeah, maybe these are great prices. But I'm just out of it right now. I can't. I literally can't do anything. Yeah, sucks for me. But for you, I mean, if you're doing spot, you're fine, dude. You're fine. If you have a job, dude, you're fine. Don't even worry about it. Me, I do have to worry about stuff, but I'll be fine. So, yeah. That's all for tonight, guys. I will go to sleep. We're going to get $1.50 from that short position. Can't wait. I'm going to do so much with that $1. And yeah, we'll see what news tomorrow brings. Tomorrow we will go over, yeah, I'm happy I didn't go over the 28-point peace plan proposed by United States for the Russia-Ukraine war. We'll go into that in more detail tomorrow, along with any other news that I could find, because it seems to be currently developing, so I want to gather as much information as I can, and then we'll talk about all that tomorrow, if I'm not doing anything more important by tomorrow. But either way, I'll keep you guys posted, just in case. Alright. Thanks guys so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We're really close to 500. Awesome. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.